Still, you look at the 8 games over the weekend, I think the lowest average aggregate was 35 points. Do you think that rugby union attack is now catered to rugby league defenses if we're sort of coming in at the turn of
Uh, yeah, I don't know what it is. Yeah, I saw the weekend. There's so many points scored. Like even you look at international games, and what South Africa won 60 odd 30 or something like that. It is a lot harder to defend now. You've got to be so worried about where your shoulders are, making head contact that people end up winning more collisions. And once you win collisions and get over the game line, it's so hard to stop teams. Even getting poaches now is so much more. It's refereed to a lot better. Like legally now, you can't go past the ball. There can't be someone in the way of the cleaners trying to clean someone out. So yeah, it's just the way it goes, and I think it makes it more exciting. Like I like to see it that way. I'd much rather it be high scoring than low scoring. And I think when it comes down to big games as well, games will inevitably get a bit tighter. So
do you think it is in injuries, or do you think attack coaches have gotten more astute?
bit of both, bit of both. Like the rules have definitely made a big difference. The attack coaches, the attack like a lot of teams play similar attacks. Some teams play that style a lot better than others. But yeah, at the end of the day, it is about winning collisions, and when you have to be so much more worried about where you're tackling people, you can't just whack people in the head anymore. Um, you do have to win more collisions when people get out of the game line. They can play whatever attack they want if big guys run the ball.
Since you really come into professional game, you've been here a decade or whatever it is. Have you seen changes in attack or?
Yeah, it's night and day. Like it's funny. I think I was talking to Handy about watching some of the old, like I remember watching my first Ireland game, which was 2016, which doesn't seem that long ago. Back and like the shape that the team was playing is terrible. Like we look all over the place. And you look back to some of the old Ulster games, it just looks all over the place. And we were a good team. Like we were doing pretty well. But now it's just so much more organised. All the forwards are always in the game. Every forward can pass. It's not like you can have a tight head prop that can't play rugby now. You can just scrum. Um, it's just progressed so much. There's so many more good athletes on the pitch. Your back rowers are now like centres. Your centres are probably more athletic as well. We actually had a conversation whether like someone like Brian O'Driscoll would be as good in the game these days. Like would he even get in, like get a good chance to get into the game, like at his stature. Like he's obviously an absolute incredible world class player. But would he have as many opportunities now with the way the game's gone because there's so many athletes playing? So yeah, it's just progressed all over the place. I don't think it's just one thing. Whether it's not just attack, it's not just the rules.
Has Mark brought anything different to the Ulster attack in a short space of time he's went here?
Yeah, definitely. I think hopefully you saw a bit of that at the weekend. The way some of our attack would like, I'd love to throw the last pass and score a few of those tries. I think if we threw balls in the touch and we threw one on the ground, we made great line breaks. Yeah, hopefully the fans will see a difference. Hopefully you guys will see a difference. It looks, I think the biggest difference is how quickly our forwards are moving, how well they pass the ball on the weekend. Gives guys like me more time and space. Gives the wingers, like probably the best part of our team is probably our wingers and our back three in general. Like if you get them the ball in space, Mikey, Jacob, Zach at the weekend, but then you have Rob Balakin coming back as well, and Werner coming in. So get all those guys a bit of space. That's what we're trying to do. Conserve the space for them and give them one-on-ones.
You talk about the Ulster's back three, but of course you're coming up against two Lions on the wing for Edinburgh this weekend, potentially.
Yeah. Hopefully they're playing. I don't know if Darcy Graham fit or not. I saw a picture of him, but yeah, like they'll offer Doohan's obviously Doohan. Like he's incredible. Some of the things he does are absolutely incredible. Like he's with the ball in hand, he's class. Hopefully we can exploit some of the things he's maybe not so great at. Whether that is getting him turned around, making him defend, and same with Darcy. Hopefully, he put the ball on him in the air. Like he has many great things that he does. He is only 5'10", 5'9". So, I like to think some of our big wingers get over the top of him, put him under pressure, especially with it being probably going to be a wet, windy night.
Is it a case of cutting it off, trying to cut it off at the source, or having a specific plan when them two get the ball? I hit them. What's the easiest game can they?
I think we learned from last year, the end of last year. I know it was a bit of a dead rubber for us, but don't give Darcy Graham, especially bouncing ball. Like a couple of times the ball bounced free and it just bounces to him, and yeah, he's going to get a few of those every year. I just turned a couple of them against us, but yeah, connect up on any turnovers, any kick throughs, make sure we're defending them at 3s and 4s, not just 1s. And then Doohan, just watching him as he roams around the field, he's pretty lethal, running at 10. So whether that's 12s or back rows helping out, double tackle him, make his day a bit more difficult that way.
You mentioned, well, effectively it was a dead rubber for Ulster, unfortunately, but Doki said up here on Friday night post match that as a result, they haven't forgotten about. So it's all about channeling that.
No,
way this weekend.
It is, yeah. I'd love to go over there and get the win. They were obviously given the big one at the end of last year when they won, and fair play to them. They could just won a big game that got them into the playoffs. But yeah, I'd love to go over there and put a marker down for us and how far we have come, rather than stick it up to them in any way. Like, it's just another game. But I think we've made big progressions. I think Friday night here was good. I think we probably should have scored another 3 or 4 tries and really put a bit of emphasis on it. But yeah, just keep on moving in the right direction.
Just finally, I suppose it can be like a benchmark to see how good pre-season actually was, considering that was the last game last season, so early on this year, or is it too soon?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to make it a big benchmark and a big sort of. If it goes well, it's great. If it goes badly, it is just another game. We're just trying to sort of stick to our process. But yeah, it'll be I think it's a big one for us to sort of bar up physically. It's going to be wet. It's going to be. I don't think there's going to be as much expansive rugby as we'd like to play, and probably they'd like to play. But a good physical test first and see what we're made of, really.
Thank you, sir.
Stu, that Aaron Wainwright try on Friday night reminded me almost of yours in Portugal. I think that was pretty bloody quick as well, wasn't it? That was.
Oh, I think it was after. No, I think mine was maybe 2 minutes or so. But yeah, flip me. What a way to start a game. What a way to start a season. Like, we were. It was funny. We were sitting the other day trying to figure out. It was in 9 seconds, like he scored, and the quickest try is 8 seconds. We're trying to see what exact time he tapped the ball down. But yeah, you could argue the ref missed Rio Dyer jumping into Dave, but these things happen. I think we bounced back well from it. Going 7-0 down after a minute wasn't the preparation we'd sort of done all summer for, but no, I think we reacted well as a team, and after that I thought we were fairly good defensively.
One of the problems last season was you couldn't win away. I think you only won 2 away games in total the entire season. So here we go. An away game, you've got to put a marker down, really, haven't you? Try to.
Yeah, try to put a marker down. We prepared. I think we prepared well this week. I think we prepared well all pre-season, and still think there's a good buzz about the whole place after the win of the weekend. And I think we're trying a few different things over there, maybe to just prime us a wee bit better before the away games. But yeah, we won't know until we get out there. It's gonna be one of those nights, but like things like there's a storm morning, so. Yeah, what a way to really see what you're made of.
Plenty of positives to take out in this weekend then from last week.
Yeah, I suppose, initially 6 tries, first game, 5 points, showed a bit of resilience when things went against us really early on. So really positive game. Plenty of things that we picked out that we can get better at. We probably felt we left a couple of scores out there. Defensively, where for long periods of defence we were actually decent, we still conceded probably 3 tries, and when we look back at that, we think we could take away another 1 or 2 of those tries pretty easy. So that's been the focus during the week, and obviously planning for Edinburgh, who are a big physical team that like to go direct and run hard at you with big ball carriers. So tackle quality is going to be hugely important this week.
Yeah, I mean, Edinburgh, they represent a big step up in challenge as well. Is this like a proper gauge to see how well you've come on since the end of last season when you last played them, and how good the pre-season was?
Yeah, last season, this season, you've got two teams at very different, like last season, two teams at very different ends of their season. One team trying to get in the top 8, one team just being told the week before, well, you're out. You know what I mean? So that has an influence on that game, and it shouldn't, but it does. Like, you know what I mean? So this year, fresh start. They've obviously got beaten away in Zebre. People look at that and go, well, that's a terrible result, but nobody gives Zebre the respect that they deserve. They're become a very difficult team to beat, especially over there. So they'll come back. They've a lot to prove. Obviously, they need to try and get a win. We've looked at them from our game last year and their game, obviously, against Zebre, and the areas we've picked out certain areas that we can go after. And we've also picked out certain areas of our game that if we can deliver to the level that we know we can deliver, that'll make it very difficult for Edinburgh at home.
Cheers, thank you.
Can I just ask, is Rob Balakoon in the mix for this week, Richie?
Rob Balakoon is fully fit now. He won't play for us this weekend, but he is fully fit. You probably will see him on a rugby pitch somewhere this weekend, but he won't be with us.
Probably, but fair enough. What about Eric?
Eric is not quite ready yet. Eric is progressing really well, very positive. It's a knee injury with Eric, so he's moving in the right direction. Still a few weeks away.
You were saying aftermath on Friday night, one of the issues you had was regaining momentum in the game when it all sort of broken up, which invariably does happen in games, and you needed to iron that out. How do you go about doing that? I mean,
it's just about our players sort of capturing each other, deciding what's really important in that moment, and how we go forward from that point. You know what I mean? When the game breaks up and there's a couple of minutes of play and then there's an injury, and there's a couple of minutes of play and there's an injury, it's very hard to keep your focus. But that's one of the things that through pre-season and in this early part of the season that we're really focusing in hard on. The information that the players are sharing with each other, is it really relevant to the next play? Unfortunately, these are things that it's only trial and error that you can work on it. But like, we feel that the system that's been built in that process is actually being quite strong at the moment.
One of the issues before was the away wins were so difficult last year. So here we are in the situation here. We pitched in there now, and possibly their Lions are back. I think Darcy Graham might be back as well. So I suppose this is a real tester to see how you can manage away from home, because that was one of the things that we seem to go.
Yeah, definitely. We're going away. We've set our team up slightly differently than we were last week in relation to there's one or two positional changes which you'll hear about tomorrow. We will adapt a game plan that suits playing against Edinburgh, which will be slightly different than the game plan that we played against Dragons with. So, we have a good plan in place. We believe in the plan. Players are happy. And one of the things I would say was very good was how players pitched up on Monday. They pitched up on Monday after a good win, head down, worked really hard. Not everything was perfect in training, but the attitude was right and the work ethic was there. So that gives me, I know, great confidence going into this week that we can go to Edinburgh and turn that result around from last year.
And the weather as well. Do you have a sort of plan for that? Should it be a
factor?
Well,
it's saying it's going to be a bit of a hurricane, so that will obviously have an impact on the game. We have plans and that we can adjust in those conditions. It'd just be a case of getting to Friday and assessing on the day and tweaking a couple of things here and there. You know what I mean? But look, it's a big task. It'll be a big effort to go to Edinburgh, but we're massively excited about the opportunity to go there and see where we stand.
Thanks, Richie.
No problem.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Hope the finger has
There's sort of tweak those systems every week, because if you look at football at the minute, there's a big debate. one manager's playing one system, it isn't working. So
Yeah.
is it a team by team basis?
The system doesn't change. It's just, maybe how we use the ball, that might change a little bit. You know what I mean? So our framework that we build, we don't rebuild that every week. That stays in place. We might change one or two of the launch type things that we do, or, look to go to a different passing game, slightly different passing game, maybe more of a kicking game. You know what I mean? So they're the tweaks that would sit within the structure of our attack and defense. Defensively, we'd have the same as well.
As a case, I think Stu not giving the game plan away, says Darcy Graham's about 5'10", can't have aerial bombardment. Would you look at certain personnel that work out what where sort of if you have a big carrier, don't run head first into them without sort of
Well, yeah, we definitely look at those things. Yeah, we definitely look at those things. Darcy Graham's pretty good in the air though. He might be small, but he gets up well. Yeah, but we like every team has strengths and weaknesses. And when you're planning, obviously, to play against them, we want to go after weak areas in their team. They'll have done the exact same to us. You know what I mean? So it's just about balance and who can actually execute the plan the best. We feel like we're in a good place. We feel like we've trained well. Gone into the game with confidence.
a typical week? How much time would you just want to spend on the thing you need to tweak, and how much would you want to lose the opposition? I know the opposition, so I don't advance.
We would spend more time. Most of our time will be on us. You know what I mean? And the little tweaks. So if probably like something like 80-20, you know what I mean? 80% of it is on what we do and how we do it, and going back to the making sure our basics of our game are really solid. Both attack and defense, and then the opposition, right? They play this way. These are the opportunities that they'll give us in defense to go after them. From an attack point of view, they're a little bit weak on this side, or that player is a little bit vulnerable. You build in your attack then and around that and sell it to the lads.
Right. Well, Rob, all by building on a positive start.
Yeah, it's been good. 2 wins from 2. Really happy with the way the performances have been, and everyone comes out of a preseason feeling good, and all the teams are saying they've just had the best preseason ever, and but I think we probably showed in the preseason game and the Dragons game that hopefully we've shown that we're moving forward in some aspects of our game, and looking forward to testing ourselves against a good team this week.
Yeah, top challenge Edinburgh, and it's like to say percentage to you as well. It's not that long ago since you were last over, and it was a tough night. So how keen are the lads they make up for that?
Yeah, I mean, that was one of those games where I think Edinburgh probably beat us in most aspects of the game, which was tough to take, tough to sit on that all summer. And look, I'm not going to say we owe them on anything. We owe ourselves to go there and put in a good performance, and really see where we sit after a tough team away from home. Excited to see where we sit after that as a squad.
As a team, Edinburgh done well this year. Lions go Schumann, and of course the 2 wingers as well. So you looking forward to coming up against that challenge?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they got plenty of talents around the squad, and those 2 guys are sort of game changers for them. And look, we're trying to not focus on the individuals, and just see it as a team and try and pose our game plan on them and see where we sit.
Cheers, Rob.
Thanks.
Stu was saying there that the forwards are moving a lot faster, which is making the ball quicker, which is helping the attack.
Yeah.
Why? Or
Mark Sexton's he's a good coach. He's come in and he's really sort of nailed in on the detail on what the forwards need to do, and he doesn't let anything slip. He's really got a keen eye for detail, and it's just been driving the standard on that. And the expectation, I think, on the forwards is different. Feels different. It feels like there's harder work, but I think also the decision making from the backs. They're taking the ball at the right time and taking pressure off the forwards' carries. Not just sitting there making us carry 10 paces at a time. I think they're mixing it up really well. And trying to save energy around the box. So when you actually are carrying, you carrying with a bit of power.
What is the difference? Is it sort of ruck speed, or is it knowing when to pass, when to carry, when to offload? Or...
Yeah, it's a bit of both. I mean, I think if you're more disciplined in your shape and you have more options at the line and the backs are showing more at the back, it gives you us more sort of opportunities to have one-on-one tackles, and as soon as you can get a one-on-one tackle, then it's a lot easier to get quick ball speed off the breakdown, and so it's a sort of the ecosystem of attack where if everyone's working hard and trying to get into place early, and the ball's moving to the right area early, then it just makes the opportunity to get quick ball easier.
I'm sure if I don't want to insult you here, but you're one of the elder statesmen, can you teach you old dog new tricks, as they say?
Yeah, I won't take those as an insult. Yeah, it's very similar to what we were trying to do at Ireland over the years, and I think you just got to show the sort of the expectation on the guys who haven't been in that squad. Like I said, what is expected of them, and how to play the game we're trying to play, and yeah, it's pretty exciting. It is, it's got a bit of a fresh feeling around the squad at the moment. I'm really impressed with some of the young lads stepping up, and obviously Joanna's come in, and he's going to start showing his impact as well. Some player so. Yeah, there's a good feeling around the squad at the moment, and hopefully we can keep that going throughout the season.
I know it's very early into this sort of coaching ticket, but we're all together in our age 20s. Can you see the sort of continuity where they're all thinking off the same page, and maybe have been for a few years?
Yeah, you can see they've been around each other for a while. They're all sort of, the cohesion between the coaches is really good, and they're all comfortable all around themselves. They still challenge each other and challenge the team. So it's a good environment to be in.
Rob was going to say you had not the summer off, but you weren't involved with Ireland anyway. Did that help get your body in the right sort of place it needs to be for another full-on season?
I mean, it's been so long since I've had a full preseason. I feel really good for it. Sometimes you come back from internationals, it's a tough tour, and it's physical games, and then you come back and sort of you only have 4 weeks till the season, so you're kind of rushing back into it. And I think it was probably just a good year for me to get a full preseason under my belt, and really get the work back into the body, and even just the sort of mental break, to come back feeling fresh, and really looking forward to the season. I'm feeling really motivated, and trying to do my bit to get this province back to where it needs to be.
Yeah, I think Henry said the same last week, that mentally it's also a great thing as well as physically, that you feel so much more ready to hit the ground running.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, it's great to be in this position now, and just got to try to capitalize on it, and keep putting in good performances. And I think we have a lot of depth in the squad at the moment, even though we've had so many guys move on. I feel that, like I said earlier, I feel like there's good competition for places, and young lads are stepping up, new signings coming in. It's a good feeling around the place.
How do you balance the situation where obviously you're competing with people like Tom and James, people like that, but you've got to stay ahead of them, but also you've got to help them as well at the same time, because they are the future. Where do you find that balance of keeping sort of enough ahead of them, but also giving them enough advice they're able to manage going forward?
Yeah, I think this is probably the kind of culture that Faz brought into Ireland when he came in, and something I really sort of got behind is, I really want to help the younger guys, and I've got experience now, and I want to be able to help them as much as I can. And it's always an open book from our side, and I think the hookers we work really well together. We're always trying to learn off each other, and I think if you're trying to hold secrets and stuff, and then you're not relying on yourself. Just you be the best competitor you can be, and the coaches will select who they're going to select. So there's no holding back of secrets, and we all have an open book with each other, and we let our performances on the pitch do the talking, and that's where things sit. If someone's playing better than the other person, then he might get a shot, and vice versa. So
yeah, Warner was mentioned, or Warner already. He's from outside Cape Town. Are you? Is there some sort of, you're aware of where he's actually from? I think
Kale's referred. Yeah, he's from. I think he went to Tigerberg. He said.
Outside Cape Town.
It's probably just as far as outside Cape Town as I was, just in different directions. Like Cape Town CBD is pretty small.
Yeah.
So
And do you have anything in common? Like, do you know various places? I mean, you wouldn't necessarily know people, but
no, we actually probably about an hour's drive from each other.
oh right, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Cape Town's big.
Yes, yeah, absolutely nothing. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So
But to have just another person from South Africa and from the same part of the world as yourself, or
yeah, no, it's brilliant. It's brilliant, and I think he's gone on really well. He's come in and really nice guy, keen to learn, and he's some talent. Like we're doing level 3 contact. You don't want to be near him, so
yeah, fair enough.
yeah, he's a great player, and to be able to bring someone of his quality, sort of at the peak of his age profile and stuff is brilliant for Ulster, and just shows the direction we're trying to head him.
You'll be going back out to South Africa fairly soon. I'm sure Stormers are on the fixture list too. When this is all done and dusted, do you know if you'd stay in Northern Ireland or maybe head back to South Africa? Because you've been here now for 13 years?
14 seasons, yeah. Don't know at the moment. Yeah, we're just gonna see how things go, and then take it 1 month at a time. And there's obviously the family back home and stuff like that. But like you said, we've made this place home now. Both our kids were born here, and we're very well settled in Belfast. So it's an easy option to stay. And that's a family decision we'll make over the course of the next year or the next contract cycle, and see where we go.
Thanks, Rob. Best of luck.
Cool.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Thanks, guys.